الله وآخر محمد عبده ورسوله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Today's topic is interesting because it's called Hereafter. And I'm looking at the crowd and I'm wondering, what do we hear after? Pretty good, huh? My name is Yusuf Estes, and I'm from USA. And see, I'm not going to try to say the whole thing this time. I don't want to get stuck on that word. Alhamdulillah. And we've been on a tour for the last several months, actually. We've been to India, in Bahrain, Sri Lanka, and now here we are in Qatar. And alhamdulillah, we just started Ramadan. That was a great experience last night to get started with that, because we had some people who entered Islam over there. That was nice. And speaking of that, it looks like, I guess everybody here is Muslim, right? There's no non-Muslim, right? Everybody Muslim. You're not Muslim yet, okay. By the way, if anybody would like to come closer, you can. There's no extra charge to get the front seats today. Usually we have to charge extra for the seats, but today we're going to make a special offer because Ramadan. So you can sit as close as you like, no problem. But I want to talk about today the subject which is called Hereafter. Now, a lot of the things that we use from Arabic don't translate exactly to English, so we substitute, and over a period of time, if we don't go back and recheck it, then we just let the next person use the same word, and then it can be that people make a mistake and give you the wrong idea about something. So this is why it's important to do something called etymology of the words, which means to examine the word, where did it come from and how do we understand it. So let's begin by doing that. The first thing I'll tell you about, in this case, will be the word Yawm al-Akhir. Yawm is a Semitic word well known around the world for Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement for the children of Israel. The word Yom means day of atonement. Now, the word Yom After, this is day after, literally after. What comes next? What is after? Means what is next. So Yom After. You could say it means the next day, but actually it means the last day, because it's understood that way. Also, it's understood this way because you say Allah, two of His names, is in general 99 names we refer to Him, or characteristics, attributes. One of them is Al-Awwal. Awwal means first. And so He is Al-Awwal, the first, Al-Akhir, and He's the last. But the two together don't mean like there's two gods. Actually, it means He's eternal, forever. Must be learning to new stuff. This is not new stuff around here. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. What I was telling you about is the meaning of the word, so that you understand that this is the word that we're going to use when we say Yom Akhir. It can also mean the day after everything happened. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. So you can see what that's like. There have been some movies lately, by the way, about the subject of apocalypse now, things of the last days, and things, relative to that. And some interesting scientific fiction, sci-fi movies. Maybe you've seen some of those. But what I want to refer to really is going to be based on the teachings from a religious point of view, from the Hebrew religion, which is Judaism, the Christian religion, and then Islam. In the Old Testament, or the Torah, you will find references to things that are going to happen way in the future. There's the book of Daniel, and it has some predictions in there about some events that are going to take place. There's the book of Isaiah, also has some predictions. And then they're presented in the form of analogies. So what happens is, if you read these analogies as stories, you have to kind of read in exactly what was the meaning of it. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives this in the Quran as well, these comparisons that He offers, method. And He gives something like it, so you can think about it. In regard to the New Testament, there are several implications toward the end of the first gospel, which is the Gospel of Matthew. But there's a particular book at the very end of the Bible, the end of the Christian Bible, called the Book of Revelation. In the Book of Revelation, it is full of these kinds of comparisons that you can go back now and read the others and see how it looks like they were related stories, and you can get possibly a little bit more, I won't say you get more meaning, but you'll get more excited at least about these kinds of predictions. They mention things that are coming like horses galloping, or this is part of the apocalypse that they talk about. There are references there of angels coming down. There's references to great turbulence going on in the earth, a great, in Arabic called fitness, a trial or calamities. This is what it's referring to. This is the reference from the two books. I'm talking about the English translation of the Bible. There is no original in the Semitic languages, so you just have to rely on what they have left. And then finally the Quran. Now the Quran is what we're going to really be talking about now. And then all I did was give you a little introduction there. The Quran, this word means what's sent down to us. The meaning of it, though, is from qara'a. It means to recite. For any kind of recitation. It could be somebody who's just reciting, Mary had a little lamb, as speaks as white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. That's a recitation. Or a reading. That's also called a reading. Roses are red, violets are blue. Sugar is sweet, and so are you. So you can use these kind of little things to get an idea of a reading. Now it will help you to understand why many years ago, when they translated the Quran to English, they used the word read. But it didn't mean to open a book and say, okay, page 3, this is the introduction. That meant to do this kind of reading or recitation. That's how they translated this word iqra, from the same root as Quran, as read. And if you want to be accurate in today's use of the English language, it is more appropriate to use the word recite. Don't say read, say recite. When Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was fasting, it was in the month of Ramadan, and he was in a place called Jabal Nur, in a cave called Hereafter. I like mentioning that now as we're in the month of Ramadan, starting first night last night, first day today. And he was just being away from his people because they were very, well, they were pagans and idolaters. They worshipped statues, they worshipped anything. And in his case, he didn't want to participate in that. They also had other, we would today call them parties and actions, debauchery that you don't even want to know about, but he abstained from all that kind of thing. There was no use of alcohol or any of the things that people did. He stayed away from it. So here he is, fasting, praying, and then someone came in the cave with him and grabbed him and pressed him to his chest and released him and commanded him, "Iqra." And he said, "La anbiqari." So he had been ordered to recite. He said, "I'm not a reciter." So I want you to get the correct understanding of this, because sometimes in the English translation, they give you the notion that here is Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, being ordered to read something, and he goes, "I don't know how to read, I didn't study in school, I don't have education." And then some of the parents even today in some countries use that as an excuse to tell their children they have to go get a university degree because the angel told them to Quran. But it is not actually true. That doesn't really work. There are other reasons why we need to be educated, and it's in Islam, yes, but don't use this and twist that around, because it's very beautiful to understand. It's the same angel, the angel Gabriel, that came to him. It's the same angel who also came to Mary. It's the same angel who came to the prophets before. And for instance, in the Old Testament book of Genesis, it talks about Abraham, alayhi salam, and the angel comes to them. And all of this we can relate to real easily and understand that it's one message coming from the same God in a continuum. It's not going to be something new that Prophet Muhammad is coming up with. It's not, it's actually the same thing. And the main message is always the same, which is worship God alone without any partners. It's a very simple, clear message. But that, of course, is the topic of another program. But I want to touch on these things so you can see the relevance of what we're going to talk about with the hereafter. Another word I like to break down when I'm talking about this is the word Allah. Because very often what happens when we're talking to someone, they say, "Well, that's your God. It's not my God." And even if you tell them this is the God of Abraham, the God of Moses, the God of Jesus, peace upon all of them, they'll say, "No, I don't believe you. I don't accept that." In fact, there are some who are going around the universities today trying to make some kind of name for themselves by just claiming these very clear proofs that we have. And either they don't have the proper knowledge or they just don't really care. Because it's very, very obvious for anyone who would just take a few minutes on one of our websites to get the proper understanding exactly who is Allah. I'm going to give you the address for it though, so you'll know. God, Allah. Put those two words together, put a dot and a comma after that, you got it. GodAllah.com. Take some time and read about it, because it'll really help you to understand as a Muslim what you believe, also as a non-Muslim, so you can comprehend better what it is that Muslims are talking about. The word Allah comes from a root in Arabic, which does have the meaning of God, G-O-D, Ilah. Ilah is God. But it can be made plural, Alihah. You can say Al-Ilah, and that means the God. But the word Allah does not mean the God. This is often another mistranslation we get from our Arab brothers and sisters. They say, Allah just means the God. But I just told you, Al-Ilah means the God. In fact, Allah is the name of the creator, sustainer of the universe, the one who takes care of us every day, the one who originated everything in the beginning, and the one who will end it all, and then we'll find out about their topic, the Hereafter. He's going to be in charge of all of that. To give the references so that you can check the information I'm offering you right now, I I recommend that you obtain the Bible in Arabic, called Kitab al-Muqaddas, the Holy Bible, in Arabic. Open the first page to Genesis, and in Arabic you'll find the word Allah, Ali, Lam Lam Ha, 17 times on page 1. Now, if your circumstances are such that you don't really have access to an Arabic Bible, and you'd like to just verify it real fast, there's a shortcut. Because every hotel and motel on the planet, then almost everyone, when you check in, you go over by the bed, there's this little stand with a light on it. Open the drawer, and what's in there? There's a book. Not Yellow Pages, by the way. Another book. What is the book? The Bible. Is it? In the English, placed there by a group called the Gideon Society. So you take this out and you open it up, now you turn 6 pages, and you look, and they're going to give you samples of all the languages that they've translated this work into. Very industrious guys, by the way. It's a little note for us to realize that if you even go through Muslim countries, you don't find the Quran in any of the places there. But, and maybe Allah will guide us one day too. Anyhow, so we look on that 6th page I was telling you about. The first language they gave you a sample of is from Afrikaans language, from South Africa. The next language after that is Arabic. So you'll see the Arabic language right there, and it's the translation of the verse in the New Testament, chapter, well, first of all, it's a book called John, chapter 3, verse 16. For God so loved the world. Let's stop right there and look. What word did they use for God? Ali, Lam Lam Ha. So you can find out real easy what I just told you. You can prove it to anybody. If it's not Allah, then why did they use that in 50 million Bibles all over the planet? It's the word for Allah, for the Hebrew, and for the Aramaic, and for the Arabic, and it's all related, whether you pronounce it Allah, or Allah, or El, or Ilah. But the name itself, Allah, actually is His name, and it is the only God that's not like anything else. Now, we know that from reading the Quran, but you can know it from the etymology of the word as well. Because in the Arabic language, to make a word plural, you don't put s after it. You know, like toy, bike. So if you said Ilah, you say Alihah. See how there's this Alif comes in, opens up the word a little bit and give you this. Like masjid, a place to pray. Masajid, places to pray. Got it? And this word though, Allah, you can't make it plural. There's no way to change it to make it more than one. You can't. Another interesting thing is, it's not gender, it's not male, and it's not female. Now, when you read the translation, you get confused because you see so many times in Quran where it says Nahnu, which means we. Or when Allah talks about creating, He says Khalaqna, which means we created. But when you see the English we, our, and us throughout Quran, it's not plural. And you're going, huh? Why? Because it's the royal we. When the king or the queen says, we decree the following decree that on such and such a date, when they do that, they say we, but there's only one person on the throne, because it's royal. So our, we, this is a big shot, okay? And Allah is bigger than anybody. So, the other one they'll say is, okay, yeah, but how come you find the word huwa in the Quran when it refers to Allah. If there's no gender for the word Allah, then why does it say huwa, which means he in Arabic? Why doesn't it say he, which is she? Or just it? Well, actually, that's not right either, because there's no respect given if you do that. So Allah uses His name, Allah, and when He says we, our, us, and when He says he or him, referring to Himself, it is not from gender, and it's not from a multiplicity of garments, but rather it is out of respect, honor, dignity, and the royalness of His Majesty. Oh. And I said that, you hardly ever hear me say it like that, because actually they don't think of it that way. But if you think Allah is the only King, He's the only God, so therefore He has the right to the highest distinction. Now that we got that out of the way, Islam, I always break this word down. Islam doesn't mean peace. You don't say Islam means peace, because the word in Arabic for peace is what? Salam. People greet you, they say, Salam alaikum, yeah? You've heard Muslims say that, right? Salam alaikum. They don't say, Islam alaikum, do they? Well, duh. No. So Islam doesn't mean peace. However, there is peace in the word. But you need to know the other 4 English words that this represents in order to get the right understanding and perception of this word. First, let's go to the root. Again, that's not you have to go to the root. The root is Sinamim, is Sum. And from there, we have Aslama. Aslama is the verb or action that we talk about when we act as people following Islam. The actions and so on associated with it, this comes from a verb, aslama, and when you refer to it as the religion, then you refer to it as Islam. Got it? Now, what does it mean? Surrender, submission, obedience, sincerity. And you already know this word, I already told you. What is it? Peace. Exactly. You follow right along good. Now, if somebody surrenders, I put them in the right order too, by the way. If you surrender, that means you give up. But then, to submit means you're going to enter into an agreement. And it's not just a giving up. The giving up is just like throwing up your hands. It doesn't mean anything, except you're not going to fight. But then when you submit, this is to enter into some kind of agreement or offer something. Like when somebody tells you to submit your work, we'd like to inspect it. That requires you to do something. Submit. The next word that we have here is obey. Because you've agreed to some terms, now you're going to obey what you said you would do, and then it brings you logically to the 4th word, which is sincere. You're going to do it from your heart sincerely, not just joking around. And you can test yourself on this subject rather easily, actually. If you find yourself in a situation, for instance, you're driving along the road, and you look as far as you can see, it's like desert everywhere, and the road is straight as it can be, then all of a sudden you see a traffic light, and it's red. Now, if your mind tells you, oh, that's just an old broken traffic light, it must be, because why would it be red? You know, and it's out here in the middle of nowhere, and I'm not going to stop because I'm doing 80 miles an hour, and I don't want to waste my gas starting all over. There's nobody coming. Who cares? And you go right by. Well, if you did that, that means you're not sincere. Because when you accepted the agreement of getting the driver's license in the first place, you're supposed to obey the rules. And in the rules it says, if you see a red light, you stop. So, you don't ask why somebody put the red light there, do you? You don't just blow through it, and then when the policeman pull you over, say, okay, now I'm going to ask why. That doesn't work like that. And it also doesn't make very good sense either, does it? So, in the same way, that's how it's understood in the word Islam, that you will surrender, and you're surrendering what? Your free choice. Because all of us have free choice all the time. You can make any choice you want. But, in this case, you're asking Allah, you make the choice. I'll give it to you. Totally. Because look at the words that come after that. Surrender the choice, enter into the agreement, obey the commandments of Allah, and do it for His sake, whether anybody's watching or not. And then, when the result comes, now here's where the peace comes. This is something, even today, Muslims need to focus on this, because it's a very important part of what we're talking about. Something happens to you, and you don't like it. Oh! And so you're going to start complaining about it. Oh! You're going to blame somebody for it. Why? In the beginning, you agreed. You said, I want whatever Allah wants for me. As long as it was good and you were having fun, that's great. But now it turns out you don't like it, so now what? So what? You're not going to obey now? Again, I'm going to refer to today because this is the first day of fasting, so I'm going to mention that again. But suppose somebody is in Islam, they have agreed, I want to follow what Allah wants me to do, and everything's going along just fine until the first day of fasting. I don't mind fasting. Okay. Well, you have to get up early in the morning to eat your food. Oh man, that's too early. 3 o'clock in the morning? Oh, wake up at 6. Wake up at 7. No, it's too late then. We've got to start early. Why? You're questioning him. Why you don't go ask the city planner, how come you put a red light here and a red light over there and a stop sign over there? You just stop. That's your job. That's what you agreed to. You said you would do it. So, now you're fasting during the day, you get hungry and you're going, I want a cookie. No, you can't. You have to wait. Why? Oh, it's hot. By the way, in the country it gets hot, yeah? Really hot? Hot. So let's go out, we're playing and having fun and chasing the ball around and doing everything. I want to drink of water. No, you can't. Why? You're fasting. This means what? You didn't understand. You didn't really understand. You do it because this is what He told you to do. Before I leave the subject and move to the next word, I want to remind myself and all of us a very important subject. When we talk about something which Allah ordered you to do or ordered you not to do, and you question, yes, but I don't see the logic in it. If you question that and you said, I don't see any logic in this, I don't see any reason for me to do that. Then what? Is that more good?
You have to turn it on. Okay.
I think it works now. That's better. A little bit echo. I want to take you back with me just for a minute to the very first human being who walked on the earth. This one died. Salat al-Janazah for this one. Or catch. Is that good enough? Oh, well this is working. Oh, so this is the one that's not working. Oh, that's great. I get to work. This is the guy that gave up, huh? Any more, if they give me any more wires, microphones, and I can become an FBI agent. It's back, isn't it? So I want to take you back and I want to think about Adam. Adam, peace be upon him, he was ordered by God not to eat the fruit from a tree. Is that true? Adam was ordered, don't eat the fruit from this tree. Right? How come nobody says why about that? What was wrong with the fruit? Was it poison? I don't know. Is it a tree that maybe God was saving for somebody else? That's not what we know. No, it was the test, wasn't it? It was the test. Adam was being tested. Do not eat the fruit from the tree. Did he eat it? Yeah, he did. Everybody knows he ate it. His wife, Eve, Hawa, she was ordered, don't eat the fruit from the tree. Did she eat it? Yep. Oh, yes, he did. Now, this is a command not to do something. Okay. What about a command when Allah tells you to do something? Iblis is ordered, that's the devil, right? Yeah, Lucifer, the devil. He is ordered, bow down, because of the creation of Adam. Bow down. Did he obey? No. He refused to obey. Iblis did not obey Allah. He refused. So you see an example of two things. One, the order, do it. And the other order, don't do it. Those are two orders, yes? Some things Allah tells you, do it. And some things He says, don't do it. Both of them are important. If you're following the commandments of Allah, and you're accepting what is the result, then you are doing Islam. And that's the word we're explaining. What is a Muslim? In Arabic language, whoever does Islam is a Muslim. Whoever gives the call to the prayer, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, like this. I hope they do it better than I did. Then they become the Mu'adhan, because they gave the Adhan, Mu'adhan. Can you say Mu'adhan? Mu'adhan. Very good. Now, what if somebody is doing Salah? Or we stand and we pray and do all this stuff, yeah? This is Salah. So if somebody does this, he's a Musalli. Can you say Musalli? Very good. Now, if somebody travels, this is called Safar. And the word in English, safari, like when you go in the jungle and hunt for lions and tigers, okay, that's a safari. And it comes from the Arabic word, safar. And if anybody is doing it, we call them a Musafir. Can you say Musafir? And sometimes when I travel, I suffer. All the time. And alhamdulillah, now what we found out is that whoever does an action in Arabic, then we attach the two letters MU in English or the letter Mim in Arabic, and it becomes Mu, whatever it is. Like what? Can you think of another one? What's another one? If somebody has Iman, they become Mu'min. Mu'min from Iman, right? That's very good. I'm looking for another one, the word Islam. Whoever does Islam is what? Muslim. Islam. Can you say Muslim? Real fast. Real loud. Real slow. Who is a Muslim? And we, but I mean is, how can I describe a Muslim? We said anybody who does what God wants him to do is a Muslim, but maybe we still don't understand what a Muslim is. So Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he said that when any baby is born, they are in Islam. They're born on the fitrah of Islam. Got it? So all the babies in all the world are Muslims. Even if their parents are some other religion, like Jewish, Christian, or fire worshiper, the baby is still perfect as a Muslim because the baby is doing the things we talked about. First word is surrender. Gives the choice to Allah. Second word is to submit. And babies always do that. Easy to get along with. And then third, obey, sincere. And nobody's more sincere than a baby. Because they don't have any second agenda. They don't have something hidden in the background. Everything the babies is right out in the open. If they want anything, they're always clear about it, aren't they? Baby wants anything, they'll tell you right away, won't they? Yeah? So, this is what Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us. That the condition of a real Muslim, now we're not talking about Muslim, we're talking about Muslim, is to be like a baby. Innocent, clean, pure, and good with thoughts. Okay. By the way, somebody might ask you, well, what would happen if a child dies, a little baby, if they die? What happens to them? Well, they all get to go to heaven, and they get to be with Prophet Ibrahim. That's good, isn't it? There's another thing, too. The babies are praying and asking Allah, let my mother come be with me. Let my mother come be with me. That's very nice. I want to come back to our subject now. We've been talking on the topic of these words so that we understand what I'm talking about. The last thing we were going to deal with now is called the Yom-Al-Akhir or the Hereafter. In the books that I talked about earlier, in the Bible, the Torah, the Injil, we find the subject for Jews and Christians that there's going to be a last day. And in the last day, everybody's going to be brought back, and they're going to have to stand in front of their Lord, and they're going to be asked about what they did. This is pretty clear teaching. We find the same thing in Islam, no different. Additionally, in the Bible, we find reference to some of the signs of the last day, which will come, and there will be some very traumatic experiences take place. Some very wild things, earthquakes and so on. And then we look to the Quran, and again we find the same thing. So some of these things are the same. But then Islam has some clarification on these things to make it even more clear. One time, the same angel I was talking about earlier, Angel Jibril, can you say Jibril? Alayhi salam. You know what his name is in English? Gabriel. Did you know his name? We call him Gabriel. Yeah. One time, the angel Gabriel, he came to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and he was talking to him, and he asked him a question. In front of all the people who were there, he said, when is going to be the last day? Actually, he said, when is the hour? But it means the last day. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, the one who's being asked doesn't know, and the one asking also doesn't know. It means, I don't know and you don't know. I don't know and you don't know. He said, but the signs, because nobody knows what's going to be. Could be tomorrow. Could be about 1,000 years from now. Or up to Allah, right? We wouldn't know. He said, but the signs are these. And he gave two exact signs or predictions of something that will happen to indicate it's time for the end. Two things. The first one he mentioned is when a slave gives birth to their own master. And the second one he said, when the Arab desert dwellers, people who live in the desert, the Arabs of the desert, begin to build tall buildings, competing in a contest with each other to make taller and taller and taller buildings.
Subhanallah.
Now, for the people at that time, I'm sure they went, huh? These two things are not possible. How could anybody give birth to their own master? Because the parents are always the masters. In any civilization, throughout history, the parents are the boss. The parents say something, and the children have to do it. Always. Is that right? But today, we see some things that are a little bit different. Like microphones that don't work. I'm going to start a collection. Now, one of these has got to be working, right? We should paint these different colors and make it look like I'm holding some flowers. Good. That's a nice one.
Yeah, that's right. That's good.
Okay, here we go. No, that's okay. I feel more comfortable with this. It doesn't need batteries. Okay. Just one word, okay? Just one word. You see how energizer. Oh, the microphone? Oh, I keep forgetting about that. Is it working? Where's it? Which one is for the... This is the one for the camera? Awesome. Come on, go get your own. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
And Mark, get set. Waiting for the red light. There is the red light. Come on. We're talking about a strange saying of Muhammad, peace be upon him, because he said that a slave gives birth to their master. Why would anybody want to raise their child up to be their boss? Why would anybody want their little boy or girl to grow up and become their master? Not just the boss, a master. You know, like when somebody's a slave, the master said, get up, go over there. They don't even say please, just do it. You're a slave, you gotta do it. Huh? It's strange, but I want to tell you a story that really happened. I saw this happen some years ago. There was a lady, and she didn't have a husband anymore. She had some children, boys, going to school. And she had to work at a job, and then come home and work. And all of that is because she didn't have any husband, so she worked in her house.
That's the real idea.
This is showbiz. Thank you. Good. Now, did I go back to work?
Yeah.
I'm going to rip out one of those chairs and bring it up here. Where was I?
You cool? Maybe work.
You guys get to sit down so right. Okay, where was I? So there I was in the house, and I'm watching this lady, and she's working so hard. She came in from work, and she's taking care of these boys that she has, and they're related to me. So she came in so tired, and she was carrying a box. And she opened the box for her son, and she said, "Look what I got you today." He said, "Show it to me." Just like I said, and show it to me. She opened it up. He looked in and he said, "What's that?" She said, "These are the tennis shoes. When you start school tomorrow, I got you the new tennis shoes." He said, "This is not the kind. I told you Nike. I told you Nike. Take those out of here." She said, "But they were on sale. I could afford them." "I don't care. Get yourself in the car. Go get those shoes that I told you to get and get back here." That's what he said. 12 years old. Then what happened? She put her head down like this, and he said, "Okay." And she went back to the car, and I'm sitting there with these guys, and she went off to go get the shoes. Pretty nice, huh?
Astaghfirullah.
By the way, I know when she was young, she used to talk to her parents like that.
Astaghfirullah.
And there was something Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us. How you treat your parents is how Allah is going to give you children. That's how they're going to treat you. If you want children to be bad to you and hurt you and insult you, then be bad to your parents, because it's going to happen to you. But if you want children to be good to you, you want your children to treat you good, and you be good to your parents. Because it's the order from Allah, even at the time, thousands of years ago, with Moses. Obey your parents, honor your parents, respect your parents. This is in the Bible. The same comes with Jesus 2,000 years ago. Honor your parents, respect your parents, do what your parents tell you to do. And then in the Quran, Allah makes it an order on you. You must obey your parents. You have no option. You must obey your parents in everything, except if they want you to worship somebody other than Allah. Got it? But now let's look at the story that happened when I told you about the hadith or story that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said. A slave is going to be in the control of their own child. And then the other part. Can you imagine a desert? Now what is a desert? It's just sand, isn't it? There's nothing there, just sand. Oh, sometimes there'll be a little, piece of something growing out there, but not much. Maybe a lizard here or there, or a buzzard, but not much else. That's a desert. So when you have that much land, if you build anything, it's probably going to be a tent, isn't it? And in fact, that's what the people living in the desert used to build. They put tents up, didn't they? Now, how many levels in a tent? How many stories in a tent? One. Duh. Everybody knows that, right? Can you imagine somebody building a tent with a roof and another one up on top of that? And get an elevator in your tent? Get a stairway in your tent? That's silly, isn't it? So when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told us that we were going to be like in competition to build tall buildings, probably the people said, in the desert? Really? Because in the desert, even if you want to build a whole lot, you can build it wide. It's easier to build a building with only one floor and just go wide, real wide, as wide as you want to go. Easier. Why would you build it up when it costs so much more money to put a building on top of a building on top of a building? And the higher you put it, the more you have to have a good foundation deep, deep, deep in the ground. Otherwise, the building will just fall over. Just like that. It will do that. So it costs so much money to build up. It's a lot of construction. Oh, and by the way, it's a lot more work. And the last thing you want to do in the desert is work. Why? Well, let's see, it's real hot and there's no water. Right? So when he said, look what's going to happen in the last day, slave gives birth to the master. An Arab desert world. By the way, he mentioned the Arabs. But there's other deserts in the world. You know that? There are other deserts. I'm from Texas. We have a desert. Arizona has a desert. California has a desert. Real deserts. In fact, we have a valley which is a desert. It's so lifeless. There's nothing there. They call it the Death Valley. I want to go there. And nobody's building any buildings in Death Valley. And in fact, listen to this. There's also a desert near the North Pole by Alaska. You know that? Yes. Because there's different kinds of deserts. No. Some deserts are not hot, but they still don't have any life. They can still be dry. And they have deserts even up north where it's cold. But nobody's building any buildings in deserts except one place. Who can tell me where it is? In an Arab peninsula called what? Arabia. Can you say Arabia? Arabia. Say it with the Ayin. Arabia. By the way, I didn't think that we had this letter in English. And the regular English alphabet doesn't have the letter I like that. It doesn't have it. But I was surprised I could say I like this, just like natural. Then I realized Texas has extra letters. I'm from Texas. We have extra letters. Yeah. Like for instance, when somebody tells you, go do this, go do that. You say, I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to do it.
That's what happened.
So this is where we get the from. But then your mother comes in and she says, the other letter, Ra. We also have that one. Oh yeah, you're going to do it. So now let us look again. What are some of the other things that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told us about the last days? Well, the Quran came from him, and in there Allah tells us an amazing thing about earthquakes. When the last quaking and shaking of the earthquakes comes, and you see the earth is going to be like in what kind of condition. And the earthquakes are hitting, bang, boom, and then what's going to happen? The insides of the earth are going to come out, and the stories of the earth will be revealed. Wow, and that's all going to happen. And people are going to be asking, what is this? What's happening to the earth? What's the matter with her? And Allah is telling you now what's going to happen. The day is coming. And anybody who did any good, even a little bit of good, they're going to see it then, on that day. And anybody that did even a little bit of evil, they're going to see it on that day. It's pretty scary. Also in the Quran, Allah uses some of the same things I mentioned to you from the Bible. Talking about the feet of the horses stamping on the ground as they're moving. Scary. That's actually when they tell the story of the apocalypse, they always like to show the horses' feet rumbling like that. It's kind of scary. I like that. Oh. You know this one? Read it. But I want to tell you another thing that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told us about. He said in the last days, People will be trying to talk to the animals in the sea. That sounds funny, doesn't it? Can you imagine somebody walk over to the river and goes, hey, bro, what up? No, come on. But no, we found out it's true. They're spending millions of dollars trying to communicate with the porpoise and the whales in the sea. And they put electronic things in the water so they can hear them going, beep, 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 beep. Right? Huh? I didn't do a very good porpoise imitation, did I? Well, you get the idea. Everybody knows that, right? Yeah, they're trying to talk to them. They want to know how they communicate. And he said that 1,400 years ago. Oh my God. You know what else? Same story, same hadith. He said that a person's hands is going to talk to him. Your hands will talk to you. Talking hand. Hello, hand. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, that's nice. He didn't mean that. He didn't mean that. Because actually, in the last days, he said your hand will talk to you. Where do we hold the cell phone? Oh, you're talking. Oh. And then he said that your side will tell you what's going on in your house, even though you're away. Even though you're far away, but your side will tell you what's in your house. How? Did you know there's a pager you can put on your belt that has a display and it tells you what's going on in your house? Because your wife can send you a message, or husband or brother or sister send you a message, and you got your pager right there on your side looking at it. Bring home a loaf of bread. Okay. We don't have enough bread. Bring home bread. Right? But that's for boys. Girls don't use that for theirs, do they? No. They put their pager in their purse. Right? And where does the girl carry her purse? Right by her side. Up. So, what we can understand from this is, could be it's getting closer and closer and closer all the time this last day. But when it comes, what's going to happen? One of the things that's going to happen, you're going to see some amazing things. We mentioned the earthquakes, yeah? Mountains will fall down, things like that. And there will be a big fire that you can see from far, far away, an unbelievable distance, yet they'll still be able to see the fire. That's another one you see. Another one. He talked about somebody who will have one eye, and he will tell people he's God. He will say he's the Lord. And he will do some magic or something like miracles, and they'll say, oh, look, who is this? Who is this? And people will believe him. A lot of people will believe him. Who is he? Ad-Dajjal. The liar. The liar. You're right. That's exactly right. And in English they call him what? Do you know? You never heard about it? No. They call him, the exact thing in Arabic is Al-Masih al-Dajjal. This means the false Christ, or as they call him in English, Antichrist. The Antichrist. And he will come, people will think he's God, they'll do what he says, and he'll say, look, here's the Jannah, here's the paradise, jump in. And they will think it's paradise and they will jump in. But what will it be? Hellfire. Hellfire. They'll go to hell. The other people, he's going to show them the fire. He'll say, look, there's the fire. And if they jump in there, they'll find out it's what? Jannah, the paradise. He will deceive everybody who comes around him except the real believers. And he told us, stay away when he comes. Stay away, get up in the hills, get far away when this guy comes, because he will deceive many people. He will trick them. And I don't need to go to hell, do you? I don't think so. Okay. So, another interesting thing mentioned by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, about this, that one man, he will come up to him, strong believer, and he'll say, "You are Dajjal! You are the false Christ! You are the Dajjal!" He's going to say that to him. Then, the Dajjal, he's going to order them to grab this guy. They're going to throw him down. They're going to cut him in half. They're going to take a huge saw and just zzz right through him. Cut him in half. Then they're going to separate the two halves. Dajjal will walk through and come back between the two halves, and then he'll command the two parts to come back together. And then he'll give him order, stand up, and he will stand back up, and he'll be alive again. He'll say, "Now who do you say I am?" He said, "Now more than ever I know you are the Dajjal." And he will be thrown into the fire, which is really the what? Jannah. So be careful when this takes place. When that happens, you don't want to be there. That's the whole thing. There are many signs Prophet Muhammad mentioned about the last days. Would you like to know more about them? Would you like to know more stories like this? Yes. Would you like to have some pictures to go with it? Yes. Guess what? If you're real good, maybe your parents or your teacher will let you use the internet to go to our website where you can find out lots of stuff like that. Lots and lots of stuff. But we're putting up some new stuff for children right now, and I'm going to tell you about one of them. It's called World Preschool. WorldPreschool.com. And all that's there now is just a couple of games. Have you ever heard of Mr. Potato Head? Yeah? We have Mr. Carrot Head. And Miss Cabbage Head. Yeah, we got all the vegetables up there, and some fruit too. You can find a pear over there. And just have some fun and use the internet. You can move around, change their faces, and put the eyes and nose, everything on them. That's over there. And soon we'll be having some things about the other information I'm talking about today. Also, there's another website. It's called islamweb.net, islam-web.net. And then go to the kids section over there, and you'll find lots of stuff in Arabic language. Anybody know Arabic? Raise your hand if you know Arabic. Oh, everybody knows Arabic. Almost everybody. Okay, so be sure and check out that. It's the kids section on that website. And then I can give you a list of a bunch of them. There's Chat Islam, Watch Islam, Hear Islam. We've got God, Allah. We mentioned that one earlier. And 911 Bible, 99 Islam. But listen to this one. Have you heard about YouTube? We have YouTube Islam. YouTubeislam.com. And you can load up your own videos, and then everybody around the world can see it. In fact, even this program that we're recording right now can be made on the DVD and then uploaded to YouTube Islam.com. That's it. Now, what if you forget all of this when you get home and you say, "Oh, I can't remember, they were too hard, I can't remember all of that"? Well, I'm making it for you. Because I have another website that has a list of all these websites. It's called Share. Can you spell Share? S-H-A-R. Don't get ahead of me here. Too fast. I'm from Texas. We go real slow. S-H-A-R. No. You gotta say it like this. R. There you go. E. That's it. ShareIslam.com. Got it? So when you go there, you can get to this and we'll see all the good stuff. Oh, anybody like animals? Would you like to go to my website that has pictures of animals? Yeah! Would you really? Yeah! How about YouTubeZoo.com? go to YouTube Zoo. Now this one you have to remember because I didn't put a link to it yet. YouTube Zoo. YouTubezoo.com. Oh, and by the way, it's not just pictures. Would you like to see live animals and watch them through a video camera? Yeah! We've got all of the zoos in the world that have cameras hooked into the website. So you can go see in Singapore animals over there, in Colorado, California, Australia. You can see all the animals. They're live right now. You can just go watch the screen and see it. And inshallah, I'm talking to some people in Sri Lanka because they have an elephant orphanage. Have you heard about elephant orphanage? Yeah, for little miskin yateens of the orphans, of the field. Elephants. I went there last week and we saw them. My daughter went with me and we saw all the, and one of them has his leg is gone. He's going on 3 legs, look like he's dancing. Another one is blind, you can't see. He's the biggest elephant I ever saw in my life. By the way, I've seen lots and lots of elephants. But that was the biggest one I ever saw. And all of it, you can get where? YouTube Zoom. YouTube Zoom. Okay? Well, I wish I had some more program for you, but that's about it. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? No? Put your arm down. Put your hand out. No, you don't have any questions. You do? Okay, girls first. Come here. Come here. No, come here. Talk in the microphone.
I saw you on TV a month ago.
A month ago? Wow, way back those days. That's the good old days of TV, wasn't it? MashaAllah. What's your name?
Adiba.
Adiba. Where are you from?
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh. How you like it here in this nice place?
I like it a lot.
You like the school? Is it good school?
Yes.
How old are you?
9.
9 years old? Wow. What grade are you doing?
4.
Have you got a good teacher? Pretty good or real good?
Really good.
Is she here?
Yes.
You get better grade. Okay, go sit down. Let me see. What else is, you want to ask a question? Come here. You have to come. Look, if anybody wants a question, you from this side you line up over here, and from here you line up over here, and then we'll take it one by one. Quickly, let's go. Hurry. There we go. Okay, tell me your name.
Line.
Muhammad. Oh, I heard this name before. I know somebody else named Muhammad. Anybody here know somebody named Muhammad? If you know somebody named Muhammad, raise your hand. Amazing! All of us know somebody named Muhammad. Isn't that nice? How old are you, Muhammad? 9 years old. How many wives do you have? Okay, what grade are you in?
Grade 4.
4th grade? Oh, wow. Who's your teacher?
She's Marissa.
Yeah, is she a good teacher?
Yeah.
Is she here?
Yeah.
You don't have to say the truth, then. When you say the truth, won't you? Is it okay? You still like wrong? Okay, that's cool. You get good grades?
Yeah.
You do? MashaAllah. What's your question?
Do you have any books you can give us?
You want to give you a book? If you go to the internet, you can print out all of our stuff in book form. It's too hard for me to carry all the books to the airport for you, you know what I mean? So if you're on the internet, print it out, make it like a DVD, what they call PDF files, and then put it on the DVD. Got me? Nice to meet you. Hold on one second. Nice to meet you, man. This is Muhammad, by the way.
MashaAllah.
MashaAllah.
Everybody knows him.
9 years old, no wives yet, working on it. What's your name? And how old are you? 10 years old? MashaAllah. What grade are you? 4th grade? Oh, very good. You get good grades? No wrong.
Yes.
MashaAllah. You have a question?
Yes.
Okay, good. You want to share with us?
Yes.
Okay, do it.
Are you Muslim?
Am I a Muslim? I hope so. Good question. Go sit down. Next. What's your name? What? Ibrahim. How old are you, Ibrahim? 10 years old? Oh, okay. What grade you in? Good grade?
Yes.
Real good grade? Straight A? Not quite? You have a question? What's the question?
When did you learn Islam?
When did I learn Islam? I'm still learning today, right this minute. I'm learning more all the time. But I started learning about 16 years ago. Yeah, so I'm 6 years ahead of you. Nice to meet you, man. This is Ibrahim. Ibrahim, right here.
He says, oh,
MashaAllah. Who's your teacher? Is he a good teacher? Is he here right now? In the room? Yeah, he's really a good guy, right? Okay. Well, you keep working on that. School grades, get them all the way up to straight A's, okay? 25. Sorry. See you later. Okay, next. What's your name?
Khalid.
Khalid bin Walid, mashallah. Nice to see you, man. Nice. Okay, how old are you?
9 years.
9 years old? You going to school here? Or just hanging out?
No, school.
You're going to school, okay. What kind of car do you have?
Mitsubishi.
Mitsubishi, my kind of guy. Is it red?
No.
Oh, okay, well, that's okay. We'll do it with red today. Okay. You got a question for us?
Yes. What's your name?
What's my name? Oh, my name is Putin. Ask me again, I'll tell you the same. Give me 5. My name is Yusuf. Can you say Yusuf?
Yusuf.
That's pretty good. My wife still says useless. I don't know. Assalamualaikum. What's your name?
Sarah.
What?
Sarah.
Sarah. Oh, this is very famous. You know, Sarah is married to Ibrahim, right? Sarah? Yeah? Is it? You're not married to Ibrahim, it's just here. She is. Okay, how old are you?
9.
9 years old. What's your age?
they could call
Fourth
it
grade?
for the kids.
Ah, that's nice. It seems like I left you in 4th grade. Is anybody here in the 4th grade? Raise your hand. Even this guy? This guy's in 4th grade, mashallah? Mashallah. Kind of hairy, you know, for 4th grade. Okay. You got a question? You ready? Okay, look at the camera and ask the question. Do I go on TV? Has anybody ever seen my TV show? I guess the answer is what? Am I on TV? We're on TV right now. Huh? I'm surrounded. Peace TV. If you know Peace TV? You saw Peace TV? Look at the camera. Look at there. She got a camera. Look at the camera. Everybody look at the camera. And say, Jinnah! Translation. Fatima. Okay, real quick. You got your question now, right? Okay, go sit down. Next. Wait a minute. How old are you?
9.
What's your name?
Osama.
Osama. Osama bin Laden. Oh, that's good. Good name. I like it. Very nice. And you're in which grade?
40.
14. Yeah? Good grades? Good man. All right. Got a question? How many prophets are there? Prophet Muhammad used to find told us there's more than 124,000. A bunch. Do you know what that is? It's a lot. And he said all of them came with the same message. La ilaha. Again, la ilaha. One more time, la ilaha. I can't hear you. That's pretty good.
المحاضرة كانت للكبار.
Next. No question starts out with who, what, where, how, or why. Sister Zelina. From Canada? You're from Canada? Oh, I had a pin. I didn't work today. I have a pin from Canada to cover. It has both flags. MashaAllah. Okay, what's the question? No, it's a question. We'll think about it. She's waiting for you. Come back when you know. All right. What's your name? Farah? Farah. F-A-R-R-A-H. F-A-R-A-H. Okay. Very nice. How old are you? 9 years old. Let me guess. You are in the 4th grade. Yes or no? I did it! I did it! Oh my God! Oh, I'm on a roll. All right, let me guess. And you're a girl. Oh boy! Man, I'm good. I'm good. All right. And you got a question? I did it again. Thank you very much. Go sit down.
How old are you?
How old am I? How old do I act? Let's go with that.
16.
Well, you said you're 9. Okay, actually I am 9. Hold on. The combination of my numbers together makes 9.
72.
So either I'm 81, 72, 63, 54, 45, 36. Which one do you think? 81, thank you. Okay. Sign? No, I got my hands full right now. What's your name? Nabil? MashaAllah. Let me guess, you're in 4th grade? I did it. I did it. I'm good. And you're a boy? I did it again. And you're 9 years old? Oh my God. Ah. Let me guess your question. My question is, how did you get to be so funny? Well, let me tell you, it's a long story. You see, I just put it down. Wait a minute, what's your question?
I signed it for my
Later. Inshallah. Much later. Later. Exactly like that. Nice to meet you. Assalamu alaikum. First the Taliban. Barakallah feek. Hayyakallah. Okay, what's your name? What? Razan? 4th grade? Girl? Yes. Not married. Good! All right, what's your question?
How many years have you been a Christian?
How many years was I a Christian? Well, if I tell you that, then you'll be able to figure everything else. Because I said I was 16 years now as a Muslim. So if you said how many years as a Christian, of course I could throw you off a little bit and say 10. Yeah, well, maybe I was a Hindu and Buddhist in between too. You forgot to ask me that. A lot. Go read the story. YusufEstes.com, the whole thing. What's your name? Hassan. That's very nice. Are you in 4th grade? Are you 9 years old? Not married? And you're a boy? And you don't have a car yet? You do have a car? No, you. You don't have your own car yet. You don't have any wheels, right? Skateboard things, huh? Okay, what's your question?
What time are you going to be on TV?
What time am I going to be on TV?
Tonight.
What channel? Okay, when you go to shareislam.com, there's one of the drop downs menus. It says video and TV. You go watch it. You can watch anytime, 24 hours a day, free. Go. Next. What's your name? Firas. Firas. How do you spell it?
F-E-R-A-S.
I'm glad I know that. Are you 9 years old? Oh, wait, but 4th grade? Oh my God. All right, what's your question?
How many names does Allah have?
How many do you think you have?
99.
Okay, go to 99islam.com and see what you get. 99islam.com and see what you get. What's this one say? Hello? Hello? Is that how you greet me? Now, what's your name?
Salah.
Salah. Very nice to meet you, Salah. Now, tell me something. How old are you?
9.
Amazing. Again. Slave. Boobs. And grade?
4.
4th grade. Got a question?
Who taught you Islam?
Who taught me Islam? Allah. And many teachers. Go read it on the internet. Okay. What I gotta do now, I gotta go. So I'm gonna tell you guys, big salam. I love all of you for the sake of Allah. Until I see you next time, may the good Lord take a liking to you. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.